All right, welcome to the first tutorial here. I'm going to show you the basics of Construct. We're going to start a game from scratch, so follow along. First thing you're going to do once you're logged into editor.construct.net is simply hit New. And we're going to call our new game Explore. And we're not going to change any of the settings, and go ahead and hit Create. All right, this will start a new project. First up, we have our blank layout here. This is where you'll make your title screen, your levels. This is where all the action happens. So let's just start off by making a character. So I'm going to double click anywhere in the white space, and I'm going to scroll down to Sprite. I'm going to hit Insert, and then I'm going to click anywhere on the screen. All right, this is going to bring up the sprite editor, and we're just going to draw something simple here. So I'm going to use the paint bucket tool, and I'm going to choose my favorite color, which is like a green. And I'm going to click in the middle, and boom, there you go. We got a full solid color. Now I think I'm going to draw some eyeballs on this thing, and I think I'm going to give it some wide eyes. Boom, there's one eyeball. Boom, there's another eyeball. All right, now something interesting about Construct is everything is oriented facing to the right. So up here at the top, you can rotate your sprite. So I'm just going to rotate him so he's facing to the right there. And I'm going to give him a little smiley face. All right, once you're done there, you can hit the X button, and boom, you have your first sprite. I'm going to go ahead and make him a little bit smaller. If you hold Shift while you're resizing him, he'll keep his same dimensions there. And since he's selected, on the left hand side you can see all the properties. I'm going to change its name to player. Alright, now we got a sprite. Can't do anything yet though, so we need to give him a behavior so we can control him. So with your player sprite selected, on the left you can come down to behaviors, select behavior. We're going to add a new behavior. And we are going to scroll all the way down. We're going to give them the 8-direction behavior. There's lots of behaviors, and we're going to cover them in future tutorials, but for today we're just going to give them 8-direction, hit add. Okay, and then you can hit X. All right, now our player sprite here has the 8-direction behavior. You can see it's got some properties like speed, acceleration, and other things. So let's go ahead and test this and see what it looks like. So up here, we're going to hit the play button. So we hit the preview button here. So let's see if we can control now using the keyboard. All right, so using the arrow keys, we can see our little player here starts to move around. Hey, that's pretty cute. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so now that we have a player that can move, let's build a world for them to explore. Let's start by giving the background a different color. So in the bottom right hand corner you see the layers window. We're going to select our only layer here, layer 0. And on the left hand side we are going to give it a background color. Now choose whatever color you want. I'm going to have my player kind of exploring a grass area, so I'm going to choose green. But again, choose whatever color you like. Okay, so now we have at least something that's not white. Let's now add some obstacles for the player to have to navigate around. Okay, so we're going to need a second sprite. So double click, and we're going to come down, we're going to insert another sprite. And again, just click anywhere. That's going to bring up the sprite editor. And this is going to be a solid object. Okay, so mountain, wall, river, whatever you want to block the player with. So I'm going to make mine kind of a grayish, mountainy rock color. And again, I'm just using the paint bucket tool. I'm just going to fill it in. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so I'm going to rename it solid. And we're going to give this the solid behavior. So down here for behaviors, we're going to choose solid. Go ahead and hit add. And let's test this now, see what happens. All right, so we're in preview mode again. I'm going to go ahead and navigate my player over to our solid. Oh, look at that. It prevents the player from actually going. So, okay, so it works. Awesome. All right, next let's go ahead and build some of the world. So we can select our solid object here, hold Control and drag. And look at that. It'll go ahead and make a copy for you. So hold Control and drag. You can hold Control and select many of them, and then hold Control and drag. Look at that, we got tons of them. So let's make a world for our player to explore. I'm going to hold Control again and scroll my mouse wheel, and this will allow me to zoom out. All right, now that we have many mountains or solid objects that we can use to block the player, let's build the world. Now let me show you a trick that can make building your world a little bit easier. If you just click on the left, click nothing, that'll bring the layout properties, and you can turn on a grid and a snap to grid feature. You can also change the size of the grid too, make whatever you want. But this will make positioning your objects a little bit more uniform. It is a little wonky at first, kind of resizing them, but once you get them resized correctly, they'll fit into the grid nicely. So go ahead and, using Control and dragging, go ahead and create a world for your player to exist in.